no, 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 no. Okay, I gotta go now. Act 2 is that John Beckdurf, which is the one that's Dahmer's, claims to be Dahmer's friend. Because were you really his friend? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I look back on school and I'm just like, you wasn't his friend. You was just exploiting his stupidity and his peer pressure. That's all. Some things that weren't in the movie was that the community, like John McDurf, actually came back to their small town in Ohio and went to the Revere High School where they all went to school at, and that the community actually accepted the movie and they loved the fact that there was going to be a movie in their small town. So a couple of things that they did was they lent furniture to the movie of that time period. They also lent cars of that time period to the movie. And some of the teenagers that were extras in the movie, their parents actually went to school with Jeffrey Dahmer. So that's like, what? So they was like, forget all that. Like, most of the movie that was made was actually it was a community-based film. So everybody from that town came together and helped make the movie. I think even some of the cameramen and some of the crew were from the town as well. So I think that's cool. They actually went back to the school and was talking to the principal and stuff like that. So it was a very community-based movie, and I thought that was interesting to see that, Jeffrey Dahmer, he turned out to be a serial killer. I mean, they called him the Milwaukee Cannibal. You feel me? Because I don't think y'all realize how much of a serial killer he was. Like, he not only killed people, he raped them. He strangled them. He turned them into zombies. He put a power drill to their brain so that they could kind of stay alive but be dead at the same time, making them zombies. And he also he dismembered them, and then he also preserved some of their body parts. Like, he was a real monster. Like, his actions spoke louder than any of his words ever did. You feel me? It killed his first victim 2 weeks after high school graduation, and it could have been John Beckdurf, actually, because John Beckdurf was the last of the guys in the group that went to see him before they went to college. So he was the last one to be there. And you could tell in the movie there was a scene where, he saw him walking and he offered to give him a ride back home, and he had blood on him. And he was basically like, apologizing for everything that they did in high school and saying that, I don't like when people apologize and they say like, oh, we were just having fun, because what you think is fun ain't fun for me, okay? But anywho, that's what he said. He was creeping up behind him, and it looked like he was going to whack him with a baseball bat. So, yeah. Also, yes, so another fun fact left out of the movie, of course, was about his brother. Because in the movie, his brother was in and out of the scenes, and he was just as lonely as Dahmer was. And I felt bad for him because he was younger, so he definitely didn't know how to cope with anything. And in the movie, Jeffrey Dahmer's mom wanted to go back to work, and she was like, all the girls are doing it, my youngest son is 11, so I can go to work if I want to. And she was basically, I guess she was just tired of just being at home all the time, being a mom for most of her life. So she just wanted to go back to work, and the husband was like not here for it. So they was arguing all the time, and it's bad enough that they wasn't there for Jeffrey Dahmer, but they definitely wasn't there for the youngest one either. The youngest one, he did seem, like little siblings are. They're loving, they're caring. They get on your nerves a little bit, but they love you so much they want to hang out with you and stuff. So I just felt bad for him that he was just kind of pushed to the side so much. and I could tell that he probably wanted to spend some time with his brother, and Jeff was just gone. You feel me? So he did have a brother, and his brother ended up, after Jeffrey Dahmer got arrested for murders, he got arrested initially for 11 murders. So when he got arrested, they found 11 body parts in the apartment of different people. So once he got arrested, Jeffrey, I don't even know how old his little brother was, but once Jeffrey got arrested, his brother changed his name, changed his whole identity. He moved away, and he refused to do interviews and stuff like that. So to this day, we don't know. Like, I don't know. I was trying to find him and stuff like that, but yeah, I thought that was interesting too, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be linked to somebody that would do something so vile to people, you know. And I bet it threw him off too, knowing that he was gay and knowing that he chose to kill men, and he was raping men and stuff like that. So I can imagine that that's a lot to even deal with as a younger sibling, like. And I can imagine that he probably felt like, damn, I don't even know him at all. Like, I was living with a complete stranger. Like, I thought I knew him, but I didn't know him at all. Like, that's crazy. And that's my brother. Another thing that I thought was interesting was that, because going after high school, he did kill someone and start this killing spree from 1989 to 1991. So I did look at the trial, and I saw this guy, Tracy Edwards, and he was one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims, but he was like one of the last ones, and he actually like survived. So he talked about his encounter with Jeffrey, and that he agreed to like go back to his place, and Jeffrey was reeling guys in because he was offering to take photos of them for $100. So I think that's why a lot of the men kind of went for it, because they was like, I want $100 and just take some pictures and shit like that. So gay or straight, if you just try and get your hustle on, like you just want the money, then you won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So he did say that he went back to his apartment. He noticed the odor as soon as he opened the door, and he was saying that it was a sewage pipe that the people were supposed to fix. I wouldn't like invite nobody over my house if it smelled like shit. But anyway, anyway, so he said that he sat down and he started to talk about a fish tank. And then before you know it, he handcuffed him and had a knife to him, and oh God. And he was just like, this ain't necessary, like what's happening? And he talked about his experience and how he told him to go back in the bedroom, and he made him watch The Exorcist 3, and he was rocking back and forth during some of it, and he was chanting during some of it, and I would have been scared as shit. As soon as he started rocking back and forth, I would have been like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, no. Okay, I gotta go now. So, black dude, you feel me? So he like, I was just thinking about like how to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I was gonna go for the window. Like, I didn't want him to kill me, basically. He told me he was going to eat my heart and all of these strange things. And he was like, he got aggressive. He was like, some of the time he was quiet. Some of the time he was nice. And then he got really aggressive and was trying to tell me to turn around. And oh my God. I might just link the video below so that y'all can watch the whole thing. But he basically was just talking about, it's only like a couple minutes. And he basically was just talking about how he escaped. Or y'all can look it up. I'll just tell y'all what to type in. But he basically was saying that when he had a chance, he hit him on the head with something. He was running out the apartment, and Jeffrey was behind him trying to pull him back in, but he couldn't. He wasn't strong enough, so he came back with the police, and that's how he ended up getting arrested. And yeah, so he was like, once they went in the apartment, they found like torsos and heads in the refrigerator and things like that, and of 11 different people. And then yeah, they eventually found out that he killed, raped, and dismembered 17 men, you know, and most of them was black. So a lot of people thought it was like a hate crime. It was just a lie. That whole thing was just a lie. Okay, so I'm going to close out the video with a quote from Jeffrey Dahmer's friend, supposed friend. Okay, y'all, so before we get to the quotes by John Beckdorf, the author of the novel My Friend Dahmer, inspiration for the movie that I'm discussing in this video, I have to give you guys an update on Tracy Edwards. He's been arrested, okay? Let's just cut to the chase. He's been arrested for wrongful death, and he is facing 7.5 years in prison. You know, the situation with Jeffrey Dahmer, I don't think that he knew how to cope with the trauma of it all. And a lot of people that knew him said the same thing, that he just didn't deal with the trauma, and he just self-medicated and, you know, turned to drugs. And from then on, he became homeless. And yeah, so it's like his life kind of went downward after that. And him and another homeless man threw this other homeless man over a bridge. So that's why he is facing the 7.5 years in prison for wrongful death. And I really wish that didn't happen, because, you know, he survived. He survived Jeffrey Dahmer, and I know that was a scary ass experience. And kudos to him for surviving during the trial and all of those things. But I do think as well that the police could have offered him some kind of help, even though sometimes people don't take the help or whatever. But I wish that he could have dealt with the situation way better than he did. And I wish that this situation wasn't happening right now. But I'll even show you pictures of what he looked like during the trial and what he looked like what he looks like now, just so you can see that he's just going through a lot of things. And I wish that this wasn't happening to him, but I had to slide this in the video so that y'all can have an update, because I just read the article like yesterday, so, and I already recorded the video, so I had to slide this in. Okay, so now we're gonna get back to the video and back to the quote by John Beckdorf, a friend of Dahmer. Okay, so I'm going to put the quote up here so that y'all can see, but I'm going to just read because I wrote it down. Jeffrey Dahmer is a monster by any definition, but he wasn't always. What my friend Dahmer does is humanize him, and I think that's important, because when we write people off as monsters, that removes responsibility from everyone. The story, My Friend Dahmer, is a story of failure. Everybody fails, particularly the adults. If you just write him off as a monster, then we learn nothing. I do feel like it is on the parents and also the faculty at school for not, you know, keeping a watchful eye on, you know, people that are socially distant in high school. I think that's a huge problem, because you never know what people are going through when they go home. Like, high school is hard enough, but, you know, a lot of us, we go through things when we go home, and, you know, sometimes you need someone to talk to. And that's why a lot of people in school end up being, like, very socially distant and don't really talk much, is because, you know, they're dealing with a lot of things and they don't feel like anybody cares. Or they just care about superficial things. So I do feel like, especially huge high schools like the one that he went to, need to be more, you know, hands-on, because it's a small town, you know what I'm saying? Even bigger than just the school, the community, just like the community came together to help, you know, with the movie, they could have came together. I just think that's kind of crazy. And that's a good point, like, now that I'm on this topic, is that the community came together to help the production of the movie. And instead of actually thinking about the fact that they did not help Jeffrey Dahmer, they didn't, talk to him. Nobody tried to understand what he was going through. Nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that he became a famous serial killer and there's some attention going on around this small town, that's what they care about. There's a lack of friends, there's a lack of speech, there's just a lack of, So when something huge like what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer or these kids in the school that end up shooting the school up, everyone's surprised, when something like this happens. But you don't feel no type of way when there's someone that clearly, is dying for attention in front of you. And instead of you telling him, like, you don't have to do all of that. Like, if you want to be friends with us, just come up to us and talk to us. Like, instead of having that real conversation, you want to, laugh at him and exploit him, exploiting himself. So I hope that you guys really like this video. Make sure that you like, comment below, and subscribe. It's Umbrella, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.